Hey, what's up, Decatur, Illinois? This is Joshua Wood, and I'm broadcasting this to everyone who has ears to hear. So, we've got hit with the food stamp shortage. I was on food stamps last month, and so they took me off of them. But this is a lot of people. So Decatur, there's over 40,000 people. And so a lot of people are off food stamps. And let me just be real with it. A lot of these people are on marijuana every day, drugs, and they're working the system. And so this is a big hit. But what I recommend is all this negativity that's spreading, right? We get a negative hit, so it's going to either go down, so you have to hit it with a positive. So what is a brother or sister that can attach to this problem? Well, the brother that sticks closer or a friend that sticks closest to a brother in this situation is the recruiting industry. See, so with every fall, there's always something where you can profit off of it, right? So with the fall of food stamps, it puts a high demand on people needing to go out and get a job, physically take care of themselves. So the friend that's closer than a brother would be the recruiting companies, right? Because they should be overwhelmed. And see, when I say recruiting, all right, you have to step it up, right? This is your nation too. So what you have to do is get like mobile recruiters, go to every company in these small towns and figure out exactly what positions they need filled. And then you can go out there in the street, like market it again at the stores, Kroger's, Walmart, and you can fish for people who are going to the grocery store, and you can give them these lists, and you can say, and then you bring them into the workforce. Because out of 1,000 people who lose food stamps, right, how many of them are going to remain lazy and just give up? Probably about 70%, right? And how many are going to get jobs? Or maybe 80 even. So, but there's going to be a 20% like revival rate. And I'm just throwing numbers out there to get your brain kind of working. So let's say you have a 20% revival rate. So these are going to be 20% people who were on food stamps and cash aid services or whatnot, right? And so if you go and you recruit them and you help them and give them that push, you are actually doing your small community a service. What is that service? You're preventing our morale from shrinking. You're preventing deathification from rising, because everything that comes from already people milking the system on drugs and stuff is already done enough damage. But if you take stuff away, it can cause even more. So you got to always be bringing that positive into the negative so you can create that balance, or try to anyway. And so I wanted to invite Decatur, Illinois. I'm going to put this video on YouTube. And what we can do is, if you want to hire me as your mobile guy, I would love to do something like that. If you find this video inspirational and you want to do something like that and get to work, I would love to help you do that. But if not, I just wanted to share this information, because you got to think of it, right? When they took the food stamps away, it spread like fire. And that's all everyone's talking about. So we have to engage in something immediately. And so the temporary work agencies are great, because you can hire somebody, you can get to work, and you can start plugging in people, and it creates that community involvement. It creates community outreach, and it's so much positive coping mechanisms. It's breathing for relationship, right? Because you're going to the companies, figuring out where they lack. You're going to the stores, you're fishing employees. Once you fish employees, you got to have a relationship. And it's kind of good, because it puts a lot of pressure on the hierarchy. It puts a lot of pressure on the wicked and the good, because God wants people to turn back to righteousness, turn back to working hard. So when these people who have like some records and stuff like that, he's going to put Trump on the hot seat. Don't get me wrong. Because God is the type where you got to think, if he says, sure, take this away. But if you take it away and you still don't give these people a chance because they have some pot record or some misdemeanor, and you hold them back, then God's going to come get you, right? So that's why you got to be very careful. So if you're going to do that, you got to be ready to lift some people up, like that 20% revival rate. And so, because a lot of people are discouraged and stay on the welfare system, guess what? Because the misdemeanor they have is holding them back from a railroad job. It's holding them back from a security job. It's holding them back from this. It's holding them back from that. One little misdemeanor. And some of us have felonies and stuff. I have a misdemeanor, right? And it's held me back from being a conductor on a railroad. And so what do? You got to show up. See, you got to show up and try to fish these people, whether the government accepts it or not, because then God is the one who has the righteous scales, man, and he's weighing them out, man, perfectly. And so when he sees the government do something like this, he is testing your heart, right? As a nation, as a whole, as a unit. And so you have to be able to come up with ideas, just like this sales job we have, dude. They have great pitches. It's called a pitch. Hey, I just want to call you. It's the end of the month. We have end of the month sales going on. Like they change buttons for the end of the month. But we can do that here, but we can't do it in the workforce, right? We can do it when we want to sell somebody a car to get them to so we can make that commission, right? And so, but we can shift those rules because it has to do with money. But what about when it has to do with principles? What about when it has to do with getting your community? What about when it has to do with not letting famine energy or pestilence energy take over your town? Are we even willing to do that? And so I encourage you all to take heed to this message, dude. You companies who are sitting there waiting for people to come, go fish for them. Go out and do little stands like they do on those free Obama phones. And just say, hey, who are you? We're trying to get people to come back to work. Say, he cut EBT, we're going to show you where to go work, right? And that's how it's supposed to work, right? So, because you don't want to get caught up in the whole everything Donald's doing is negative thing, because then you're going to cause a war. You're going to cause a fight. So you got to algebra theory it. You got to go, it's good that he's doing that, but it can be bad in this way, right? And see how I just brought balance to the whole thing? It's good, but I just made it fair across the whole unit, because you have your chance as poor people to make your time shine right now. Like pretty much, you got to look at it like this. The welfare you've been given has been like your FAFSA, where you go to school and they pay for you to go to school. Well, they just cut you off, and now you got to go find a job, right? And that's what you got to do. And what we can do about it, guys, is you can go out there and you can go fish people, you can go find people, and you can push this new thing like it's the end of the month, right? How they change stuff, where we work. And I recommend you do that right now, man, because it would be fun. It would be super fun. That would be the best job ever, to go out there and just try to get people to work, and actually walk them to these jobs. See, what you can do is you build rapport with everybody. You build rapport with your client, you go fish, you do all the legwork. And then when you build rapport, you go in there and you say, look, I found Jeffrey out on the street. I found this guy over here, and he's interested in this. And then you build rapport as a unit, dude. Because then you start digging yourself up out of that pit as a unit. And, and so, and the community would be great. And I'm vindicating this for like a small town of 40,000 or less. Big cities, I don't even touch. It's not my cup of tea. But the rural places, oh yeah. So once again, let's get the breakdown, okay? And then we'll end this and post it. So if you're a temporary to hire position, I think you are the friend that stick it closer to the brother. This is something where you can profit, right? You can go out there and you can find people, and you can, like, remember when COVID came out? I'm going off today. Who did they make heroes immediately? The nurses, the cops, the firemen, and they promoted the heck out of it, bro. We're heroes here. Well, now this is you. You are the heroes. See, if you want to recruit, you're the hero, dude. Your company's the hero because you're going out there and you're fishing people who just got cut off from the system, right? And so you are a modern day hero just like that. And so you have to look at that, but they're not going to build you up, guys. So this isn't COVID where it's planned, it's pandemic or whatever. You have to go do this because it's going to take heart. You can't do something like this unless you have a good heart. That's why I like speaking it. I would love to do something like this, but if you don't have a good heart, you won't be able to do it. You can't be evil and do something like this because it'll kill you inside. And so I recommend that you would push for that. Go meet with the companies, get a list of all the jobs they're looking for, because you want your little city to not have one spot. You want people to be like, literally, every place has employees, dude. You can't even find a spot. That is the opportunity you have right now, right? Because all we lost, dude, is free money that comes out of taxpayers' dollars when you look at it. That's all that was taken away. All that was taken away from you is a handout, right? It's not going to affect the economy. It shouldn't affect it that bad. See, what comes after that is the negative spiral, the down spiral, right? So technically, all you're doing is stopping the free handouts, right? And so if you immediately fill the workplaces seats that are needing, guess what? Your city's morale goes up because the hard working energy goes up, showing up every day goes up, the family values go up, because anyone who gets off cash aid, I'll tell you something, in food stamps, your life is demanding an immediate change of action, because you can't go get a job and do what you're just doing. So when Donald Trump took that away, you can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. It forces you to pivot. You have to move somewhere. And so that's one good thing about it. And I don't really take information on these rich people. I try to make a positive out of it. So what you can do is you have to move, right? Oh, this got cut. So people who move stay alive. Those who just sit there, they don't, right? That's a famous quote from Brad Pitt in World War Z. And so you have to move. You have to pivot, you have to move, you have to do something, man. And I hope somebody hears this message. I hope somebody's inspired. Because right now, guess what? Hate is circulating. I know envy is circulating. There's some people right now that are so pissed off. Just because I'm the man who spit this idea, they're going to hate me. Guess what? That's okay. I don't really care. I don't give a crap. And so what you have to do is, let's just work together in your community, man. You have a chance to fill up every work spot that's out there, right? And if you are tired of corruption, you want Bane to come out and end it, then keep on pressing these wicked elites and keep on making stuff make sense. Like I just explained to you the balance scales. So whenever you do this, if you want corruption to stop, make sure, if you're going to cut food stamps and stuff, make sure you help out people and not be so strict on their background. And all right, we're going to give a 4-month background soft thing where we give you a chance, right? Donald Trump said this is where the poor get their chance. Well, most of the poor have poor background, poor credit, poor everything. So give them a little opportunity, right? And I'm not saying like free money. I'm saying to just get a job. And then if they don't make it again, okay, you're probably a piece of crap. But that's what you got to do. And so I just recommend that you guys share this video and to the whole world, especially America, though. God bless.